Y'all, let me tell you, that meme had me weak. Because trust and believe, as soon as that Taking Over for the 9-9 and 2000 comes on, I was in my office. And get it. Too funny to me. Anise, thank you for sending that my way. It made my entire day. Yo, welcome to Crown Commentary. My name is Byron. Thank you for checking in. I've been wanting to do this for forever. All my friends know me. I've never really talked about it a whole lot, so the few people that I have talked to about it, thank you for supporting my dreams. I'll talk more about that later on. Special shout outs to a few certain people. We'll get into it later, right? So I'm just gonna jump right in, right? So first we're gonna start with Mona Made Me. Mona Scott, bless your whole heart. No, before I do that, new TV show on HBO. It's called Insecure. Love it. Yo, I promise you, you will get your entire life. Issa Rae from Awkward Black Girl, executive producer. She created it. She wrote that whole thing. She's out here doing her thing. The show is all about two black girls, best friends, and living life. And honestly, deep in my heart, I promise you, it will touch you because it's real life. Like, it's just real life, no scripted. So it's awkward, very similar to Awkward Black Girls. So shout out to y'all. But back to Mona Made Me. I was watching Love and Hip Hop, not Atlanta, New York. They on New York right now, right? And Mendeecees and Yandy Smith, shout out to her. She's out here doing her thing. Bless her too. Shout out to her. She got into a little confrontation with Mendeecees' baby mother. Mendeecees' baby mother and Yandy were going back and forth because Yandy was taking her son to go and see Big Mendeecees in jail. And Mendeecees' baby mother, don't ask me her name because she's irrelevant. I don't know. I don't care. But she felt some type of way because she didn't want her son going out of state to go see Mendeecees in jail. She didn't want her son to be in the jail environment, whatever the case may be. Girl, wake up. Listen, these black men are out here going to jail way faster than anybody else. I mean, go check out 13th. It's on Netflix. It's a great documentary, and it will tell you all about the prison system and how it was really designed to continue to enslave black people. But Mendeecees wants to be a father to that little boy and be a positive role model. Let him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fred, my biological father, I'll tell you more about him later. He was in and out of jail. Trust and believe that. It was a thing. I was very young when he was in and out of jail. My mom wasn't a huge fan of it, but she definitely didn't stop me from going to go see my father. And when I did go see Fred while he was in jail, he was like, don't do what I did. Be better than me. Be a better version of who I am. You don't need to make these mistakes. And when I tell you, I remember vividly what those jail cells looked like back then. I knew that him could not be up in somebody's jail. I'm too cute for that. And I ain't about to be busting it wide open for nobody in jail. Peep that. So I think if Mendeecees wants to be a father figure, a positive role model for this little boy, then let him be a positive role model in that young man's life. And I'm sure Mendeecees, at every chance that he gets, will tell that young man, don't do the things that I did. Be better than me. Do better than me. And Mendeecees' baby mama need to get up and over it, because he wants to be a father. And that baby is legit half his. And you can't question it because the baby looked just like him. So, shout out to that. Moving on over to other reality TV shows. Shawnee O'Neal. Shawnee. You said, I need somebody to come back and snatch some wigs. And Tammy Roman did it a few seasons ago. Bless her. Go check out Bonnet Chronicles. But Evelyn Lozada is coming back to Basketball Wives. Woo! Y'all, I was hyped when she said that she was coming back to Basketball Wives. If y'all remember, before Ayanna fixed her life, she was on Basketball Wives and getting these girls together, grabbing their wig and snatching their edges. So I am beyond excited to see what this grown-up Evelyn Lozada post Chad Ocho Cinco Seis Nueve Ocho Diez, whatever, what her life is now that she's found her this fine baseball player. with this new beautiful little baby. And you know, her daughter is just as gorgeous as she wants to be too. Shout out to her daughter. I am really excited to see what this grown up Evelyn is going to show the girls, because I'm sure they are going to try her. And they are going to forget that deep down inside, she still got that ratchet side of her. Like, don't try Evelyn. So shout out to her. Moving on to another hot mess express. Andrew Caldwell. Y'all know who Andrew Caldwell is. Flashback to I'm Delivered. I'm not gay no more. Andrew Caldwell up in the Kojic convention showing his whole backside. We're not going to get into the whole nooks and crannies of the whole statement, I'm not gay no more, because that's a whole nother sack of potatoes. I just don't got time for that. But if you remember, he became famous for that, and then after he became famous for that, he went out and was riding around town telling people that he slept with Cordell Stewart. Y'all know Cordell Stewart. He was married to Portia. He did some other stuff, but really it's irrelevant because Portia was your main accomplishment. Let's be clear there. Shout out to Portia. And he was out here, you know, telling these lies, fallacies, and falsehoods. If he, you know, so the judge says. Cordell got that smooth injunction saying you need to stop talking, telling these lies about me. The judge said I agreed, tell him to stop telling these lies on you and run him these coins. So Andrew Caldwell, I don't know how much money you got. I ain't counting your coins, but I'm sure you owe Cordell Stewart a good little chunk of whatever change you making off these Facebook Live videos that you're doing. But Lord, he was up in the mall, somebody somewhere looking like a whole 1999 soccer mom with a windbreaker on. Bless his heart. Talking about how women should stay away from this, and when he was doing this and that with married men, giving suggestions like he's literally the pimp of all the gay men that are in the church that are sleeping with you married men. I'm not here for it. But to catch you up to what happened most recently with Mr. Caldwell, he was on Instagram saying that he touched a woman. Y'all, he said he touched a woman. I lost every bit of sense that I had in me when I saw this on Instagram. Because not only did he say that he touched a woman, but he was sitting in somebody's bathroom with a whole Victoria's Secret plush robes, fresh off the pink line, I'm sure. Looking like every bit of church mother tied up tight, right? Talking about he touched a woman, he excited. And I said, who in what world did a woman let you climb her back? I'm very intrigued to know how that happened, what happened, and did she just let you like touch her thigh? What exactly happened? We don't know. He said it happened. I don't know. I'm just here so I don't get fined. But speaking of another Real Housewives, so shout out to Portia. I absolutely love and adore Portia and Phaedra, the queen of a good side eye and some ruthless shade. The classiest lady that I know. I love them. My two favorite Georgia Peaches, Real Housewives of Atlanta, my jam. Y'all see Saint Records, aka Solange, says she loved Real Housewives of Atlanta too. So make sure you check it out Sunday nights. But one time I am going to tell you, Andy from Bravo, that I am ready for is Real Housewives of Potomac. Because them girls, they get down. I mean, they haven't reached the level of Real Housewives of Atlanta yet. So they still out here doing the tricks that the girls on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all know, remember Nene was trying to snatch Kim's wig off back in the day. Sheree up here talking about who gonna check me, boo. That's where Real Housewives of Potomac is at right now. Except for they've done it a whole different way. Shout out to Giselle Bryant. She is beautiful. She is classy. Y'all know she AKA too. Check out her Instagram. She is the classiest, most beautiful woman ever. Those beautiful little girls that she has too. She seems like she's being a great role model to them. But I peeped on her little Instagram page the other day. She was snuggled up with some gentlemen, I would assume, because, you know, she just showed the feet. It looked like a man's feet. I'm sure y'all know what men's feet look like. Stereotypically, please don't send me any messages. But I said, good for you, girl. You out here being a mother, an entrepreneur, making your coins. So if you want to find love, by all means, go ahead and find love for you. You deserve it. And the last little bit, Mona made me. Tommy, told me, told, tit tot, bop bop. Tommy Lauren, girl. When I tell you that Tommy Lauren thought it was a great idea, well, if y'all don't know who Tommy Lauren is, go back over to your Facebook feeds. As you scroll down a few more times, I'm sure you'll see a link from Fox News. She has her own little TV show where she just talks out the side of her neck on a regular about hateful stuff. Like, she say she's not a hater, but she's steady talking hateful things. Like, you know, she was the one that said Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. Colin Kaepernick needs to sit down, stand up during the national anthem. You know, how dare he? All these people are whining. The liberals are womp, 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 girl. You just talking out the side of your neck a little bit with all of your white privilege showing, looking like a whole hot mess. But, you know, it's okay. But she thought it was a great idea to walk her way on over to Comedy Central and sit down with Trevor Noah. And boy, when I tell you the tea was piping hot, they have a little back and forth. They go back and forth. And Trevor says, you know what, Tommy, I have a question for you. Look, I'm just thinking out loud here. You have said that, you know, Black Lives Matter is, you know, akin to the KKK, which I had a problem with. But the Black Lives Matter is akin to KKK. Colin Kaepernick, who is literally taking a knee off to the side, not making any noise, in protest of how African Americans are treated in this country. The people that are saying hands up, don't shoot, when they protest, they're a bunch of whiners. How exactly do you think these people should be protesting? And girl, she looked dumbfounded, befuddled, confused. I was stuck. And when I say she rattled off a few facts that I'm sure her producer made her memorize before she hop, skipped, and jumped herself over to that seat on Trevor Noah's set. Fact. You know, black people kill more police. Girl, bye. I'm not here for it. Because he asked you a simple question. If they are doing it wrong, how do you want them to do it? She was stuck, confused, and sat there and looked like Charlemagne, the guy's donkey of the day. And I'm sure he gave it to her because she looked a mess. So supposedly she was supposed to go over to Charlemagne's show the next day. So post Trevor Noah, she was, you know, going to have that little back and forth with Trevor Noah and then going to scoot herself over to Charlemagne the guy's radio show, which is absolutely amazing too, and sit down with Charlemagne the God, which I was ready for. Before I do that, so she also said, you know, in her little scuffle back with Trevor Noah that she didn't see color, and I almost fell out of this chair right here. She said, I don't see color, and Trevor Noah had the nerve to ask her, what do you do at a traffic stop? And I was through. I was through because, again, like I said, the whole time she was looking befuddled and confused and looked like somebody just needed to speak to her ear and tell her what to say because she ain't have not a now original thought in her head. Bless her heart. But like I said, she was supposed to go over to Charlemagne's show, and her producers, quick, fast, in a hurry, X-nayed that. They said, choop, choop, choop. Fox News, you can't take but too many L's in a week, and you took the biggest L over there on Comedy Central, so we refuse to have our conservative viewership see you take 2 L's in 2 days. So probably for the best. So all of that, that's all from Mona Made Me. So before I go any further, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Black Girl Magic. I love black women. I adore you. I was raised by a strong black woman myself. I have black women friends. All whole 9 yards. I love me some Beyonce, and she, you know, listen to that little excerpt that she had, Malcolm X, that black women are the least protected species on the face of the earth. So if I have a moment just to give y'all a shout out with some Black Girl Magic every week, I hope to give you a little bit of something. And if I can't do some Black Girl Magic, I'll hit you with some Black Boy Magic. But shout out to the 4 beautiful people of color that walked that Victoria's Secret fashion show and strutted every piece of hip, every lip, every short hair don't care, this weave that I bought in my head, and I'm going to sway from left to right. Those women killed the game. They were black girl magic to a T. So shout out to Joan Smalls, Maria Borges, Cindy Bruna, and Jasmine Rook. Please forgive me if I mispronounce your names, but they were amazing. I got my entire life. They walked up and down that runway, and it just reminds you that, you know, black girls are magic. Like, and that is not a slight at any other person. It is just me building up a group of people that I believe need a little bit more recognition than they get. So shout out to you four women for being awesome. I'll be right back. Hold on. I had to get a quick break because when I tell you that I got some popcorn tonight, and anybody that knows me know I absolutely adore popcorn. So shout out to Carmike Cinemas for making this $4 refill bucket. And trust me, I'm not getting no coin from Carmike yet. But if y'all want to slide me a piece of coin, that's okay. Or you know what, even a lifetime supply of popcorn, I'd be here for it because I get me some of these, one of these, boop, boop, annual popcorn bucket, 2017, peep that. I get that faithfully every year. So, we'll pop back over to what I want to talk about. So, next thing I want to talk about from a student affairs side, from a connoisseur of hip-hop culture and celebrity culture, is Kanye West. Y'all know Kanye West has been going through it. Bless his heart. I mean, homeboy has been in, up, and through. If you don't know by now, Kanye West was admitted to a medical center for exhaustion, and it was basically put on a psychiatric hold. From my understanding, I'm not reporting any facts. I go over to the Shade Room, shout out to them. That's where I get my celebrity news from. So check that citation. But apparently he was in there for whatever the reason is. But let's take a look back in time. Kanye has been struggling for a minute, and as a culture, our African American culture has basically said mental health, that's some white people stuff. And when I tell you, it grinds my gears to hear people say mental health is an issue for white people. It's an issue for those people over there, but not us. Black people. We are people. We have emotions. We have feelings. We all have a mind. And mental health should be everybody's concern. Kanye, like I said, he's been going up and through it. You know, his mother passed away, God rest her soul, and I can only imagine the pain that you receive from losing a mother. He had a beautiful little girl, North, and that little cute little baby boy that looked just like him with some fat cheeks, Saint. His wife was robbed at gunpoint and threatened with sexual assault, and that by itself, Kim's situation, Kim Kardashian, you know, is a whole lot. You know, Kim was out here on the gram, flexing, making that money, doing her thing. Kanye out here also trying to be popping. You know, I don't back it up. Circa 2004, 2005, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was the biggest Kanye West fan. I had my double pop collar. Brittany, I know you remember me out there. My birthday, I had a black polo and a white polo. Popped that collar. I had me a whole Louis Vuitton backpack. Thank you to my Aunt Lisa for getting that for me for Paris. And you couldn't tell me I was not Kanye West. I was out here thugging, just living that college dropout life and blasting every chance I get in that car that I bought for myself, that Ford Focus. Ooh, shout out to the Focus. But we've been rocking with Kanye for a long time. And the signs that he needed some help had been blaring. You know, he was shouting out, you know, aside from the fact that, you know, his wife was robbed, his mother passed away, he believed that Jay-Z and Beyonce not his friends no more. He got into it with Kid Cudi. He was going on these horrible tirades at his shows, talking about he didn't vote, but if he would have voted, he would have voted for Donald Trump, your president, this, that, and the third. He likes the way he think. And we were literally like, this is not the same Kanye West that I grew up with. I don't know who y'all grew up with, but the Kanye West that I grew up with was the same one that was saying George Bush don't like black people. And while I don't know if that fact is true or not, because y'all do know George Bush is the same one that signed the order for the African American History Museum up in D.C. to be created, for whatever the case may be, that was the Kanye that we grew up with. And for him to turn around and say, I would have voted for Donald Trump, just seems like a complete left, right, not correct moment for him, when not only do you consider yourself black, but you have a daughter, you have a wife, and Donald Trump has been very adamant about, sexual assault's not like a real thing. Your wife was just threatened with sexual assault while she was being held at gunpoint. I don't know, Donald Trump is a deplorable person, period. Hillary got it right when she said half of his supporters were a basket of deplorables. And if you had a problem with it, a hurt dog bark. So if you want the deplorable that Hillary was talking about, then step to the left and just be a regular Donald Trump supporter and accept the fact that he's a racist, he's a xenophobe, he got all kinds of issues going on in his life. But I'm not here to talk about Donald Trump. That's not what we're here for. We're talking about mental health. And I honestly believe that we ignored the fact that Kanye West literally looked like he was spiraling out of control. Y'all check out that J. Cole new song, False Prophets, where he goes in on what, I don't know who he was talking about, but it sounded like he was talking about Kanye. I don't know. I'm not in J. Cole head. I do know he from North Carolina, so we people in my head. But he looked like he needed some help. He is calling for anybody to help him. Jay-Z, Beyonce, somebody reach out and touch me. Help. And we just sat back and again, as a community, we're like, I guess he's okay. If he was a student, for those of you that are watching, that student affairs professional, if he was a student and you saw these actions happening in a student, we would have been the first people to say, I think you need to sit down and talk with somebody. Just nothing. There are a few things that have happened. You've had a lot of things that are going on in your life. If this was a one-on-one, maybe we need to go over to the counseling center and just talk it out. Be with somebody that's just going to listen and not judge. But the black community has always said, if you didn't get sexually assaulted or there was not some horrible event in your life that just on the outskirts you need to be seeing somebody, ignore it. Because you can't have feelings. Little black boys definitely don't cry. So hide your emotions, hide your wife, because we out here ignoring mental health. Not the case. And it's clear that Kanye needed this help. I keep saying that because it is blaring to me. Because like I said, if that was my student, I would have been then hop, skip, and jump over here to health service and be like, I'm going to sit outside. I'm going to be here when you get out. But I'd like for you to just take this time to talk to these people. There is this campaign, Stop the Stigma, that is doing amazing work to stomp out this idea that talking to professionals, to counselors, to therapists, whatever the case may be, is wrong, it is incorrect, you shouldn't do it. When in reality, just sitting back and talking to somebody is the greatest emotional catharsis you will ever have. Trust me, I was in counseling for a whole year trying to get my life right. And I will be the biggest advocate for mental health and getting your life together. Because honestly, you ain't got but one life to live. And if Kanye want to talk to somebody and, sit down on a couch and just pour his soul out about how he wasn't able to be there for Kim when she was getting robbed, how he missed his mama. I would miss my mama too, how he got to be a parent to these kids, and the fashion that he's making look like homeless people chic, and the shoes that he make look like somebody put a sock over a heel. I would be, left, right, and indifferent. And, bless his heart. Sorry, that's Benji. That's my dog. You're hearing him. I'm sure he'll be in another skit, not today. He's ready to get a haircut. Now he's looking at me sideways. But again, I really wish and hope and pray that as a community, student affairs people, my community members, my people of color, everybody around listening to my voice, I pray that we are able to stomp out the stigma and really use this opportunity with Kanye West to address mental health. Empire has done a great job of opening the door to what it looks like functionally for a person dealing with bipolar. I think the oldest son, what's his name? Andre. Grace Keeley, girl, you did that, climbing that whole tall tree. But in the show, Lee Daniels has done an amazing job writing in this character that is dealing with bipolar and mental illness. And it is opening the door and it's starting the conversation. And I hope that what is happening with Kanye is able to continue to further that conversation about mental health in our communities, in our students, in our cultures, wherever they may exist. And we will hold those people up, we'll brace them and say, talking to a therapist is okay, talking to a counselor is okay. Mental health needs to be your number one concern. Self-love, self-care is a real thing. Take the time to do it, because in the end, you only have one self, you only have one mind. Please take care of it. So shout out again to Kanye West. I hope that you get all the help that you need. I'm sending you love, light, and positivity your way. And like I said, I hope you get better. I hope one day we're able to, relive the good days. You bring back some fashion that I actually would wear on like an everyday basis, because I learned my lesson with that double polo is hot. But I tell you this, I didn't need to wear a t-shirt that had 17 holes in it and look like I was on the side of the road like a bum. Someone that was homeless. And I'm not paying $1,500 for a shirt that I could have cut up and let my dog play with and got the same look. So, moving right along. This last segment is, I titled it Chasing the Crown. And Chasing the Crown for me, crown commentary really came about from this idea of chasing your dreams, going after what it is that you want. I wanted to talk about this, I want to talk about that, and really just give my comments on a few different things. I love crowns. For those of you that know me, know I've had an obsession with crowns for ages. I have crowns all around my office or on my apartment. But for me, every day is not my crown. It's a metaphorical crown. It's my hair. It is holding my chin up high, and it's my constant pursuit of my dreams. So this week in Chasing the Crown, I want to talk about my two best friends from undergrad, and they got married. Shout out to Tito and Bree. I know I've done a lot of shout outs, my bad, but I really just love these two individuals. They got married this weekend. I was thrilled, over the moon. I got the wedding invitation. I was like, it's been a long time coming, because I flashed back to circa 2009, 2008. I turned 21 so 7 years ago. I turned 21, and these two was steady talking about they wasn't dating, this, that, and the third. And I look back in the car. It was me and Samantha. I look back in the car, and these two was back here making out. Now, first of all, I was drunk. I tell anybody my 21st birthday, I had a blast. I did college. I tell my students that on a regular. But these two was in the backseat making out, and I was like, oh, no, they didn't. They is more than friends. But I watched their love grow and blossom and go through trials and tribulations. And we lived together for 3 years. The first 2 years we lived together, it was amazing. We lived with my boy CJ, my other friend Deluxe, and Kristen would come over, and we have a blast. And at the wedding, it was so awesome. It was so amazing to see all of my friends that I hadn't seen in ages. Like I said, Tito and Bree, the wedding was absolutely gorgeous. When I tell you that she walked down the aisle to that song from Twilight, 1,000 Years, I am not a crier, but I was a little... Because first of all, your girl was face beat. face beat, had this lace gown on, and her whole back out, gave them a dark lip, and looked like every piece of wedding bridal magazine model you could see. And when I looked up the aisle to my best friend Tito, he looked like every bit of love was inside of his eyes when he saw Brienne for the first time. The ceremony was beautiful. During the cocktail hour, we were able to, laugh and joke and catch up with some of my friends, CJ and Tanya and Samantha and Kristen. We were laughing and joking and having a great time. And Kristen reminded me of these Sunday dinners that we used to have every Sunday. Every Sunday, I would cook, Kristen would cook, Tito might cook, CJ might order pizza. But we were committed to spending some time together, even though we all cheered together or we were friends, we spent time other places, but we were committed to having that one time a week where we all came together, we ate, no matter if some of us were arguing. Eventually we all got out to that space and really bonded together. And it was that time that we built our family. And I always will tell people, family is not about the people that you're born to. Yes, that's your first family, but the family that you choose means so much more because you get to choose them. It was amazing, and that really made me remember that in the pursuit of your dreams, we get so caught up in this individualistic idea that I need to chase my dreams, I need to go for it, grind, put my, pedal to the metal and really grind it out. But there are so many people that are rooting you on. There are so many people out there that you have built connections with, that want to see you win, that want to see you be successful. And even though they're not there every step of the way, they're not able to be there in your face, they're not able to physically support you, they're still there. And that was a lesson that was hard for me because I moved to Georgia. I'll talk about that later, maybe another episode. And the hardest thing for me was I moved to Georgia with no friends. Kevin, my partner, moved down with me. And we went through our own drama. He moved back to Raleigh, and there was a time I was literally just by myself in Georgia, and I was like, God, I don't have any friends. Like, there were people that I worked with that I was chill with. I mean, I met some really great people, but a lot of my people that I work with, it's like you don't want to bother them. Like, we've been at work all day together. The last thing you want to do is see my face all afternoon. Like, y'all are introverts, and y'all know I'm a extreme extrovert, ready to talk to a wall if I could. Side note, that's why I'm making this blog. At least I talk to my phone. I've met some really great people too in that time that are definitely become friends and family. Shout out to Jasmine for listening to the podcast the first time around. You know how to do a dry run through. But I say all that to say the people that are in your life that you've chosen are really there to stand you up and be there for you. And that family is always going to be there, even if they're not there physically. And I think that's something that I continually remember. In the 28 years that I've been on this earth, I'm thankful for my friends, my family that I have chosen, I've built, for constantly supporting me in every endeavor that I've chosen to do, be it this, that, the third, do these 2 degrees and this third one that's currently in progress, listening to me bitch, moan, and complain about this dissertation because that's real. But that's chasing the crown. I mean, hopefully that helps somebody out there. But that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to me just sit here and talk junk, eat my popcorn. I hope y'all have a great afternoon. I am about to go watch Love and Hip Hop, New York, DVR'd it, because I happen to be talking through the first part of it. Y'all have a great night. Love you. And remember, always wear your crown.